My grandfather would say, "You should buy this bull from me because I said you should buy this bull. I know he's good, I know he'll do you a good job." That's all he would have to say. 2 generations later, I can't say that. But what I can say is, let's DNA test your cows. Let's get some intel about what your cow herd is made up of. It's all about making cows that make bulls that make great cows. We have our own genetic evaluation, and every one of these cows and every one of the bulls that we market, they're all DNA tested. We are capturing several phenotypes and we're putting them into our own genetic evaluation so that someday when we get enough phenotypes, we would be able to stand up a trait, a predictor. That's a good cow right there. You could theoretically then take a DNA test of a calf, a newborn calf, and predict the fact that at year 2, this bull may have bad feet. Or at year 3, this bull's not ever gonna have a foot problem. It ranges from feet to udder score to disposition to mothering ability. All of these things that we really don't have a predictor for today, someday we will have. We are controlling our own data in our own genetic evaluation. And by controlling your own data, you know that that data going into the evaluation is extremely strong. So that's why we've invented the ideal beef evaluation, and we're using that to help evaluate our cattle.
When you look at an acre of ground, we might not make decisions that in the short run are the most financially optimal. But the reason we're doing that is because they're investments in the future that ensure the sustainability long-term for the business. When we're breeding these cattle, we're maybe not breeding them the way the industry is moving at that point in time. We've always taken the longer view about we know what works long-term, and that's the path that we're gonna stay down. And long-term, what happens is people keep coming back. They come back because they know what they're gonna get is consistency.
The cow herd that we manage here in Ideal, we refer to that cow herd as our parent stock cow herd. It controls the genetics for all of the bulls that we sell throughout the course of the year. And so we have to stay extremely disciplined on this cow herd and really continue to improve the genetics as my dad did and as my grandfather did. And that's really what my job is to make sure from a genomic standpoint that this cow herd stays the course. To make sure that there are no genetic flaws. That all reflects on all of the cattle that we raise, all the bulls that we sell, all the females that we offer in our cow sale. And honestly, it reflects on our customers as well. If we have a cow or develop a line of cattle that have some sort of a flaw, that will someday rear its ugly head somewhere along the road, whether it's our customer's cow herd or through a bull that they got from us. That's just something that we can't have. Once you get the cow herd right, there really isn't anything that you can breed that cow to that will mess her up. The cow's just by default gonna make a great bull. Breeding and developing cows that are trouble-free and that make bulls that make great females, I think that goes a long ways, and I think that's really what our industry needs at this point in time.
Although our operation focuses largely on the cattle enterprise, still relies upon the cropping enterprise to feed it. And so my role here largely is to provide a feed source for the many thousands of animals that we feed annually here at Jorgensen Land Cattle. On beef cattle operation like we have, and we're specifically conditioning bulls, is far different than dairy or far different than a feed yard. So we're looking more for energy values. Those bulls are getting a very high fiber content in their diets. If you think about thousands of years ago when millions of buffalo roamed the prairies, they'd come in mass in an area, eat down what was there and move on. And those areas that were eaten down would regrow and thrive with new and different species of grasses. And so we try and emulate that both here and in our pasture management system. And we've been able to almost double the capacity of our pastures through doing that.
You know, you got to ask the question, why would we go back and use a bull that was born in 1958, Skymere 2058? At his time was a certified meat sire, which they don't do it anymore. And 2, back in those days, they were studying carcass, you know, just with progeny data, right? It's a lot different than the way we do it today with ultrasound and such. And then just hardcore daughter data, like his daughters were above average. You know, it's really unique to get both of those in one package. We bred that bull, Skymere 2058, to our very best cows, our very most modern, best cows in today's cow herd. We come up with something unique like this that no one else in the nation would have that today. So it will be a unique breeding tool for the industry. There's 250,000 calves across 38 states that are directly sired by a Jorgensen bull. And knowing the DNA of every bull that sired every one of those calves gives us intel that no other packer would have, no other feedlot would have. Nobody would have that kind of information on that set of calves. To me, that's really the next step, is to try to figure out how a guy would help our customers market their calves, telling the consumer a little bit about where their food comes from. We can do that with DNA. The more phenotypes you have, the more animals you have in your genetic evaluation, the stronger the data is. And from here forward, that is just going to continue to get stronger and stronger. And that evaluation is going to be one of the most valuable tools that our operation will have in its toolbox. Historically, ranchers, and a lot of ranchers still do this today. I'm not saying it's wrong, I'm saying this is really all they have. But a lot of ranchers today use an alleyway and a gate and sort in a heifer that they're going to keep and let the ones that they don't want by the gate. Like a gate and an alleyway literally is how they select their replacement heifers. That's the future, that's their cow herd, that's their future cows. Well, now if they DNA test those heifers, we have that much more intel that we can advise them on. That's just been a huge, huge benefit to our customers. This particular set of cows was selected because we have them for sale in November. Every one of these cows that are in this pasture, there's 82 of them, I believe, are above average against their contemporaries in terms of their production record. So these cows have all raised a calf or weaned a calf above average. And so it's gonna be a very unique offering that we're gonna have because of every cow being above average, right? This is not just a set of cows that we're selling. This is a hand-selected set of cows that would be in the heart of our varsity cow herd. And it's just gonna be a very, very unique offering. And I'm really excited to show that off in November. This is just such a unique offering. There will be no other cow sale this fall that will have a set of cows quite like these that we're gonna offer. And so we're really excited to show the world some of the best cows that we have. Jorgensen Land Cattle is really, I feel we're really focused on family. It's a true honor to be part of the legacy of this. You know, this isn't a job for me, this is a lifestyle. And my older son, Philip, he's now home from college and he's actually in charge of managing our feed yard here. And I can tell you there really isn't anything better than working with your son. I heard my dad talking about it, how great it was. I didn't really know how great it really is until it happened to me. And I know Nicholas is gonna, someday he'll get the same feeling, and it is a true honor to be able to do this. It's not a job, it's an honor.